Well, it was a really long casting process. Yeah. I sent out a tape to LA, and then I got a call back, and I met a casting director in LA, and then a few months later, I met with Knight in LA, and then I didn't hear for a really long time, and then I met Knight again in Philadelphia, and he said, you know, I'm really interested in you, but I can't tell you 100%. I'm going to be completely honest, I have to look at, you know, a lot more people, and so I was like, okay. And I was like, well, when am I going to find out? And he was like, you have to wait the whole summer. I was like, what? So I waited the whole summer, and it was definitely worth the wait, though, and I'm really lucky and blessed to be able to work with such amazing people.
Yeah, the casting process, I mean, it was probably started about 3 years ago, and I originally auditioned for the role of Prince Zuko. And I met with Knight for that in Los Angeles. We read together, and we had this, you know, it was a good rapport. But you know, he didn't think I was exactly right for the role of Prince Zuko, so he brought me back about 6 months, almost a year later, to read for the character of Sokka. And then we did a chemistry mix and match, and as soon as this little one and I read together, just kind of had this brother-sisterly dynamic, and it just worked from the get-go, and we got the roles. Well, it was nice getting a chance to kind of get back and to do some martial arts, and really they put us through the ringer in terms of we did a lot of training, and I loved it. Yeah, we did a boot camp in Philadelphia in February where we worked, you know, for hours a day to get this choreography, to kind of, you know, learn these different skill sets. I studied Gumlek, which is power fist form of the Kung Fu. And it was so much fun to be able to do that, as well as some wrestling, some grappling, and stick fighting. So it was really fun to get a chance to, you know, learn a whole new skill set for this film.
I've done ice hockey my whole life, so that really helped me. But I learned Tai Chi and Kung Fu, and the great thing about acting, like Jackson said, is learning something new. And I loved it. And after this tour and all the craziness is over, I'm gonna still do it.
Which is kind of a bad thing. She's really violent. She beats me up all the time.
He's mad because I'm stronger than him.
So strong. You seen those muscles? Huge.
What can I say?
I mean, there's so many different things, you know. Like, I think, you know, M. Night's the perfect director for this film because, yeah, he's such a spiritual man. He is a great family man, and that's who really inspired him to make this film, was his family. As well as, you know, he has a history with martial arts himself. And he's got this kind of old school cinematic style that I've always been a fan of since his films, you know, The Sixth Sense and Unbreakable and The Village. And, you know, I think he's just, he's had this, you know, amazing kind of worldly cinematic style that a lot of American directors don't have. And it was just an incredible experience to work with someone I've respected and admired for years.
I agree. It's a huge dream come true to be able to work with M. Night. And, he's such an amazing person and an amazing filmmaker. And especially, you know, these great producers like Sam Mercer and Frank Marshall. And there's just a huge dream team on this film, and I'm really lucky to be a part of it.
Water.
Water.
Yeah. Boom.
Definitely water. I think it's the most interesting because, you know, unfortunately there are tsunamis, and if I could waterbend, I would definitely stop them. And it also heals people, you know, so they can be both. They can be, you know, dangerous but also healing.
It's the most prevalent element, you know, on Earth. It's makes up 80% of the Earth and makes up 80% of our human bodies. So I think, you know, it's something to be said for living like water. Bruce Lee talks about it in his book, Artist of Life. And there's actually a really nice speech in The Last Airbender where Master Paku kind of explains why the element of water is so fundamental in our everyday lives. Well, the internet for me is kind of a source of communication. You know, it's communicating between my family members, you know, who are all spread out. You know, now that I'm on this world tour, I can communicate with them via email, via Skype. I don't use Facebook or MySpace or Twitter, but I do have a band, 100 Monkeys, and we have a website, 100monkeysmusic.com, where we can, you know, kind of very closely, we can put out new music for our fans. We can, you know, you can listen to our music for free, and it's a way for people to communicate and to stay in touch. And I think it's an incredible device if used properly.
I agree. I definitely communicate with people through the internet, and it's also Wikipedia is really useful. I mean, you can, research things, especially for school. I have a lot of papers, and the internet's very useful to help me out.